Fellow Biafrans, my name is Biafra Superstars Media. Today is up in the air. We are hearing the news that the one they call Chika Edoziem, Chika Edoziem, some say that's his name, or Chika Edoziem. You will hear that today he's now a free man. The Nigerian zoo media, in their courts, the zoo government, they've declared him a free man. But when you read the statement, they said he's a law-abiding Nigerian. He is a law-abiding Nigerian. Now you understand. When we told you that some people who claim to be freedom fighters, they are not. As we know, the destination of every freedom fighter, it is either you are in jail, you are dead, or you are in exile. As long as you're still fighting for your freedom, for the liberation of your people, you have three destinations awaiting you: in jail, dead, or in exile. So for the fact that the news is coming out that Chika Edoziem is now a free man in Nigeria, he can now fly through and fro into Nigeria. It's very, very funny. Because this man was supposed to be the head of the DOS, the Directorate of State of Biafra. Now you understand when we told you that Ipob sold out to Nnamdi Kanu. Now you will bear me witness when we told you that the DOS are responsible, that they were paid $9 million allegedly. Today, the chicken has come home to roost. So for the naysayers who were saying, oh, blame Simon Ekpa for the problem, that the DOS, they were working to release Nnamdi Kanu, suddenly, while Nnamdi Kanu is still in custody, while our leader Nnamdi Kanu is still in the hands of the DSS for 4 years and counting, the head of the DOS, Chika Edoziem, Chika Edoziem, or whatever the hell his name is now a free man. He's been declared a free man in Nigeria, that he has no claim or no crime, no case to answer. Let us sink it to your mind. However, in this presentation, this is why I say we, the Biafrans in diaspora, we must educate the Biafrans in the local, because they are having a mixed information and misinformation. You will hear the perspective of our friend, the one I call the Biafran golden child. You will hear him speak on the perspective that what happened to Chika Edoziem being free in Nigeria, or being declared a free man in Nigeria, is something of a good news. And when I assessed his analysis, I came to the conclusion that he was not aware of what the DOS were doing to Nnamdi Kanu. He was not aware of the back dealings. He was not aware of the $9 million allegedly paid to the members of the DOS. He was not aware that when Nnamdi Kanu told the DOS to give Simon Ekpa a slot in Radio Biafra, they went against the instructions of Nnamdi Kanu. He was now aware that the one they call CHINANSA NWORU was calling out the names, the names of the commanders of ESN. And within 48 hours, they are killed by the Nigerian military. He was now aware that the DOS, Chika Edoziem and the rest of them, were partnering, working, collaborating with the governors of the Southeast. He was now aware that when we say there is no election in Biafra land, the DOS will go against the instructions given by His Excellency PM Simon Ekpa. He was not aware. He was not aware. He was not aware. So even though what he is saying from his own viewpoint Even though what our brother here is saying, the Biafran golden child, from his own perspective is right. Because sometimes there is no right or wrong answer. As long as you can break it down, analyze the pros and cons, go deeper, look at the positive from the negative, then perhaps you can say what he said about Chika Edoziem being cleared of being a terrorist by the zoo government. The alleged terrorism that they called the members who were frontlining the struggle. Perhaps you will say, yes, our brother, the Biafran golden child, is right. Because he was not aware of the back end story, the behind the scenes story that people like me, people like Simon Ekpa, and the rest of us have. He was not aware when we said Ifeanyi Ejiofor was the eye of Nigerian government in IPOB. He was not aware. He was not aware. He was not aware. But fellow Biafrans, without any much further ado, I still want us to listen to the perspective, the narrative, from a different angle, from our friend, our brother, our hero, a man who was there as a child during the Biafran War. Follow me to listen to the perspective of the Biafran golden child. How we painted the story about the news of Chika Edoziem being a free man. He has no case to answer. He is now declared a law-abiding Nigerian. I repeat, in the statement, in the document, they said Chika Edoziem is a law-abiding Nigerian, so his name should be taken off from the watch list of the terrorists they call we, the members of the Biafrans and the IPOB. So without any much further ado, I present to you the Biafran golden child, the real Biafran golden child. Listen to his analysis and you be the judge. You come out and leave your comments and tell me what you think about it. Finally, to those in the media, this is how you deal with situations. You don't attack the personality. All you have to be is be objective. Break down what they've said and speak from your own perspective. Stop attacking yourselves, the Biafran media warriors. Please, henceforth, stop attacking yourselves. But please, I want you to please lend me your ears as I present to you for the last time the Biafran golden child. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you hear my voice from. Once again, I'm happy to use this platform created by Biafra Superstars Media, to interact with lovers of Biafra, freedom lovers, and brothers and sisters of Biafra extraction. Yeah, yeah. For today's audio, we're going to center on an opportunity that has been created, you know, in the southeast, where a court clears Ipob leader of terrorism charges and awards 5 million, NAIRA damages against the federal government. Yes, we have seen, that yes, sometimes justice can be done and be seen to be done. Yes, unlike what is happening to our maximum leader, Nnamdi Kanu, here in the DSS incarceration, where today, every other day, back to back, is going to one court to the other, even after the Federal High Court had found him not guilty and not questionable for any treason or, insurgency charges. All because, of course, as he claimed, as he has insisted, because this, high courts where he's been tried, all these judges, they are from regions where, he feels he can never get justice. I mean, if you are accusing someone, of crimes against, the Southeast, you expect that his trial should be in the Southeast. And so that's why our Muslim leader has consistently insisted that, look, I have no confidence in, any trial in any high court at Abuja. If you want to try me and you claim I've been a source of, uh, uh, insecurity in the Southeast, you claim I've made Southeast ungovernable, you claim that my activities have been in the Southeast has been, untoward, then take me to the Southeast, take me to, legal, uh, to high courts, within the Southeast. Appoint judges from the Southeast who would look into my affairs and not bring me to, judges who, of course, are prejudiced and, of course, are seeking other agendas. You're bringing me before judges that have been programmed to find me guilty. You're bringing me before courts and judges who, you know, have their own personal vendetta, and judges who have their own ambitions, possibly to use my case to better the lot of their family image and their family problems. Yes, he said he doesn't want his matter to be discussed again by a judge, a federal high court judge, who had already recused herself from his case. I'm talking about uh, High Court Judge Nyako, Binta Nyako, who was, on her own, recused from trying our maximum leader, but was again appointed, by the uh, Attorney General of the Chief Justice of the Federation, to once again take over a case he had, previously recused from, which is a clear sign that there is a major bias, there is a prejudice, and there is a very dubious intention. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, for today's audio, I'm highlighting what has happened when an Ipob leader who was charged for terrorism charges, and tried in courts, in the southeast, came up victorious because, of course, he was cleared. The court cleared him of every charges and even awarded 5 million damages against the federal government. Yeah, so you are welcome. Let us delve into it right now. Let us go in the spirit of the Biafra superstars media. We call it spade a spade. We don't call it an agricultural instrument. Yeah, so give me your ears, ladies and gentlemen. Let us see who this personality is, who this, you know, IPOB member is, who was declared and terrorized and, you know, harassed, humiliated, and arrested and charged to court for terrorism, but who has finally been absolved of every charges, and in fact, who the court told the federal government to pay him damages of about 5 million naira. Yes, the federal high court, one sitting in Owerri, Imo State, presided over by Honorable Justice N. Onwibo, 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 yes, has cleared the head of Directorate of State of Indigenous People of Biafra, Chika Edoziem, of charges related to terrorism, insurgency, kidnapping, and violent criminal activities. Justice Onwibo delivered the judgment in suit number FHC slash Owerri slash FHR slash 29 2024 between Mazi Chika Edoziem versus Honorable Minister of Defense and Chief of Defense Staff, and consequently declared as illegal. The designation of Edoziem as a wanted person, terrorist, insurgent, kidnapper, and violent criminal by the Minister of Defense and the Chief of Defense Staff. The ruling affirms, yes, that the March 22nd, 2024 publication of Edoziem's name and photograph in the Ministry of Defense first edition of 2024 as a security threat was done in gross violation of his constitutionally guaranteed right to dignity of the human person and as such unconstitutional. In the charge sheet obtained by our correspondent on Thursday, His Lordship further directed the Minister of Defense and Chief of Defense Staff to immediately retract the unconstitutional declaration of Mazi Chika Edoziem as a terrorist, insurgent, kidnapper, violent criminal, and wanted person, and to issue an unreserved apology in two national newspapers to Mazi Chika Edoziem. The court also awarded 5 million in damages to Mazi Chika Edoziem for the infringement of his fundamental right to the dignity of the human person. Notably among the many names listed in the said notice, Mazi Chika Edoziem was the only one who successfully challenged the publication of or inclusion of his name in the offending publication. Please, you may recall that Edoziem is the next in rank to detained Ipob leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Yes. AGF4, in a statement on Thursday, described the uh, ruling, because you know AGF4 is the legal advisor to Ipob, the lawyer representing Ipob. AGF4, in a statement on Thursday, described the ruling as historic and landmark, saying that the judgment is a strong statement against unjust profiling and underscores the importance of due process in security matters. He said security agencies must focus on proper profiling to identify actual criminals rather than targeting innocent citizens. The real perpetrators of crime operate in known locations, and tackling insecurity requires collective responsibility beyond just the security forces. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to my dedicated colleagues in chambers whose relentless efforts made this victory possible. Special thanks to Ezigbo Umuchineke for their unwavering support and prayers, whose peaceful conduct has enabled seamless defense in matters affecting genuine and peaceful agitators. Above all, I thank Almighty God for His guidance and protection throughout the proceedings. Justice has prevailed and has been seen to prevail. You know. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we are considering this landmark judgment, delivered, by uh, a high court, very powerful court, you know, federal high court, one sitting in NWORU, Imo State, presided over by none other than Honorable Justice I.N. Onwibo, which has cleared the head of uh, Directorate of State of Indigenous People of Biafra, Chika Edoziem, of charges related to terrorism, insurgency, kidnapping, and violent criminal activities. So, ladies and gentlemen, you see, when our maximum leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, has been talking about, his fears for justice, he fears for the manipulation of justice, especially when cases, you know, bordering on the southeast, concerning the southeast and its people and its welfare, are dragged down to, Abuja and other regions, just to make sure, the accused people are not given any opportunity, for fair hearing. I mean, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has always maintained, you know, that for justice to prevail, it must be seen to be justified, and it must be seen to have prevailed. Yes, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has said, as far as I'm concerned, any case, excuse me, any court case, involving my person who have been wrongfully charged accused of causing mayhem in the southeast, of making the southeast ungovernable, all because I come to talk about Biafra and I talk about the welfare and plight of the people of the southeast. And I'm saying and I keep saying, yes, if you don't want these people, if you don't want them to stay in peace, if you don't want to grow, you don't want them to grow, you don't want them to develop, you don't want them to maximize their potentials, then of course tell them to go home. Let them find their own identity. I mean, if a people who, since the amalgamation of Nigeria in 1914 by Lord Lugard, you know, if this kind of people can still suffer, people who were, part of the tripod, the foundation, that this country, Nigeria, was was placed upon. People who are from the formidable, triangle, part of the formidable triangle that formed this country, and you continue to treat them like a subjugated people. You continue to treat them like a second-hand people. He said, "No, I don't want my people to keep suffering in silence. Enough is enough. My people have suffered enough." And when he was saying all these things, going about peacefully, creating awareness to the plight of the Igbo man, the plight of the, southeastern, and the plight of the Biafran man, because we didn't know the Nigerian government had its own agenda. They had their own agenda. So they secretly, covertly, and, under very coded atmosphere, renditioned him from Kenya. In fact, he was kidnapped from Kenya. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped and, smuggled down to Nigeria in circumstances that have not, you know, does not say well of Nigeria. In circumstances that the world, the world, and you know, every part of the world has vigorously, condemned as lacking in merit, as unjustified, and as inhuman. Because how do you go and bundle a man from Kenya? Man who was going about his legitimate business. You bundled him from Kenya and you kidnapped him down to Nigeria. And you still accuse him of causing treason in Nigeria, of causing, making the Southeast ungovernable, and trying to create insurrection amongst, you know, in a country called Nigeria. Of course, Mazen Nnamdi said, this zoo called Nigeria has not shown, that it is capable of maintaining law and order, capable of guaranteeing, the human rights and, privileges of any human being, let alone the people from the southeast, let alone the Biafrans, and they vehemently, you know, uh, propagated all the ill feelings, all the experiences, particularly negative experiences the Biafrans are enduring in their bid, to continue to stay in Nigeria. Yes, Maziman leader said, you can't force a man to continue, to be a servant, to continue to be in a place where his freedoms, his rights, his right to, assess every meaningful level of development, including the first position of authority in his country, cannot be guaranteed. So he was arrested, kidnapped from Kenya, or maybe you want to call it rendition from Kenya, and somehow they brought him down, deported him down to Nigeria under circumstances, like I said, that have continued to shame every Nigerian government at any point this kind of situation was mentioned. So, ladies and gentlemen, we can see what has happened today. Unlike the last trial of our maximum leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, when he was once again, you know, bundled down and forced to appear in a high court at Abuja under the auspices of uh, uh, Judge, of a judge, Binta Inyako, who had earlier recused herself from everything concerning his trial, was once again bundled and asked, to be tried. And of course, he vehemently opposed it, spoke for himself, told the lawyers, give me my chance to speak. I know what to say. I mean, I'm not afraid to say what I have to say. So as I'm concerned, I'm not guilty, of any charges. I'm a gentleman who goes about his legitimate business, who goes about his legitimate practices as a genuine person, both a Nigerian and British, citizen. I don't see why I will not be able to address a court. I may not be a lawyer. I may not have to, be a lawyer in my own case, but I have a right to be heard. I have a right to be heard. And so he made it very clear, right under the auspices of uh, Justice Binta Yako. He said, listen, listen and listen good. This distinguished woman, quote and unquote, has recused herself from my case. I don't know why I will be forced again by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, to have uh, this justice, Binta Yako, to still be the one, to judge or advocate my case. I want to make it abundantly clear that I find no reason whatsoever to support this. I find no reason of merit on this matter. Therefore, I want to say that I don't think I will get any justice. And I'm once again saying this case cannot hold. You cannot try me on it from justice that has recused herself. You cannot try me for justices under justices that are seeking their personal agenda or family agenda. I have it on good authority. Yes, good authority that Justice Binta Yako is being forced to advocate on my matter because they want her to find me guilty. They want her to, declare me, yes, guilty as charged, just to placate the powers that be, especially because, her husband and son are undergoing, severe, and damaging trials themselves. So I will not be used. Yes, I will not be used as a placating, phenomenon. I will not be used as a scapegoat. I will not be used as a lamp to placate the powers that be in Nigeria by Justice Binta Nyako. I want my case to be tried in the Southeast. If you accuse me of treason, you clearly accuse me of secession, and you said I'm making the Southeast ungovernable. So Southeast therefore push my case and let me be tried by people, who know my antecedents, who know that I'm a peace-loving man, who know that I have no violent intentions, who know that all my protests have been peaceful. Yes, I don't want to be tried or, judged in faraway uh, regions where uh, the mandate would be to convict me. Yes, that's a very, very powerful statement from a Muslim leader, fearless statement from a Muslim leader, and we're happy the whole world has heard him loud and clear. We're happy the whole world, you know, have seen what the Nigeria government is up to. That there's a grand plan, deliberate grand plan, to frustrate him, to annihilate him, and if possible, to disparage him in every manner, in every way possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us not forget that a court clears Ipob leader of terrorism charges, awards 5 million damages against federal government. Let us all remember, let us also remember that the court, of course, is the Federal High Court, one sitting in NWORU, Imo State, presided over by Honorable Justice N.I.N. Onwibo, and that the man who was cleared, the gentleman who was cleared, is none other than the second in command. Yes, second in command to our maximum leader. Yes, yes. Edoziem is the next in the rank to our detained Ipob leader, Nnamdi Kanu. And so we say what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Our maximum leader's case should be taken down here to the southeast so that his matter can be looked on meritoriously, thoroughly, with every uh, dispassionate view so that he would get justice, so that justice will prevail. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you all as we await the next audio. Thank you so much.
Ejiofor was the eye of Nigeria in IPOB. All the commanders that died, Ejiofor was part of the eyes. Ejiofor entered IPOB, and Nnamdi Kanu was taking him as a lawyer, and he became the eye of the Nigeria government in IPOB. He became the eye of Umahi in IPOB. Ejiofor was the eye of Nigeria in IPOB. All the commanders that died, Ejiofor was part of the eyes. Ejiofor entered IPOB, and Nnamdi Kanu was taking him as a lawyer, and he became the eye of the Nigeria government in IPOB. He became the eye of Umahi in IPOB.